Hello everyone, my name is Ziamaro and welcome to Battlerite Sage. Let's talk today about some features that could really improve the Battlerite experience. I personally think the actual gameplay in Battlerite is pretty damn good, but it could use a few added features to make the game a more complete experience. I was speaking to a player called Nemanja last night on Discord at length about this. He had some great ideas, so some of the stuff here came from him and other parts are my own ideas. And I know there are going to be a lot of people thinking I've missed stuff here, so of course feel free to add your suggestions in the comments. But these are just my thoughts on what I think will make the game a more enjoyable experience and without diluting what the game is all about. So, number one, give us something to do while we're queuing. I'm not going to focus too much on matchmaking because I'm sure Stunlock are more than aware of the issues with matchmaking. Obvious matchmaking balances aside, however, starting around mid to high diamond, the queues get pretty long. And in some regions, the queues are always quite long. But unfortunately, that's not something Stunlock can directly do anything about. They could do more promotions to get people playing, sure. But let's face it, long queues are just something that people have to deal with. And let's not kid ourselves, all games have issues with long queues for high ranked players. You can't just shorten the queue times without making the matchmaking even worse. The thing is, I don't think it looks particularly good when someone watches a Battlerite streamer and they see them sitting in a queue for 10 to 15 minutes on average. If the games they were waiting for lasted 20 to 40 minutes, that would be acceptable, but games in Battlerite rarely last longer than 10 minutes. So for some people, they're queuing more than they're actually playing. So my solution, why don't we throw in a mini game while people sit in the queue? There are a few things you could try out, like 1v1s with your chosen champion, but my favourite idea is defending against zombie waves, or if you don't like zombies, something else that fits the lore better. In any case, you could recycle the battleground versions of the maps and put barricades at the doors that you need to maintain. Waves of mobs come in that you have to kill, and the best thing about this is that you could save people's progress, so when the queue actually pops, the wave that they got to is saved, so when they re-queue, you start again where you left off. If you were solo queuing, then you would defend alone, but if you're queuing for 2s or 3s, the mode would scale up, so you have to defend together. I mean, I don't know, it's just an idea, but any kind of mini game that we could play while we're in the queue would be greatly appreciated. Even just a crappy skirmish mode like Overwatch has would be a start. It just seems kind of stupid to see someone playing another game when they're streaming Battlerite. So give us a reason not to alt-tab and carry on playing Battlerite. Moving on, the next feature I think would really improve the Battlerite experience is an in-game group finder. I've said it before, but I think the best experience you can have in Battlerite is with a pre-made group. I don't have a particular problem with solo queue, but when you put together a proper comp with a pre-made team, it feels like you're experiencing Battlerite the way it's meant to be played. Some people might just prefer solo queue, but I think there are a lot of people playing it just because they don't know how to find teammates. Bloodline Champions used to have a global chat, and just about everyone I ever played with I found in global chat. We live in a much more technologically advanced era now, so spamming global chat would maybe feel a little bit crude. So for that reason, I would love to see an in-game group finder with incentives to use it. There are a few people that I regularly play 2s and 3s with, but if they're not on, it would be cool to go into a group finder and see if someone is looking for a healer. It would certainly beat the randomness of solo queue, for me at least. A lot of people have asked for a draft mode, and personally I think this would change the Battlerite experience, so in my opinion, if you want to put together a proper comp, it's better not to play solo queue and just put a team together. So let's make finding a group easier. You shouldn't have to join a Discord group to find people to play with. Maybe this is something that's planned already. I mean, there is a roadmap for 2018 that includes an in-game clan system. Maybe this would fulfill the need for a group finder instead. In any case, there's literally no community features in game right now, and I think it would make the world of difference. Next up, we have number 3, in-game ladder and stats. Now, I have to apologize again because this may already be in the works, but I haven't seen anything specifically mentioning this. I know some people feel like the game lacks progression, but what do people mean when they say that? I really hope that they're not asking for RPG elements like levels and items, because that is actually something that killed Bloodline Champions. So it just doesn't belong in this game. If that's what you're looking for, Battlerite isn't it. It's like going to CSGO and asking for a class-based system. Like, that's not what the game is about. And it's been said a million times before, but Battlerite has more in common with Tekken than League of Legends. So what kind of progression does a game like Tekken have? Honestly, the only progression you have is your personal progress, your skill. And what do you think is the best way to measure your progress and your skill as a player? A ranking system. So as you get better at the game, you climb up the ladder. Having an arbitrary rank name like Diamond, Champion, or whatever is fine, but I think a lot of people would prefer to know more specifically how they match up to others. You see a lot of people on Reddit asking what the average rank is. And why do you think they ask that? Because they want to know how they stack up against other players. You can go to battleritestats.com and find out where you are, but it's not a complete list. We need an in-game ladder so people can see how they stack up. Because right now, someone gets to Diamond and they're like, cool, but I still don't know how good I am because I'm playing against other Diamonds and they seem pretty good too. If you knew for a fact that you were in the top 10%, that would give you much more of a sense of achievement. So even if you don't want to tell people that they're number 12,000 on the ladder, you could just give them a percentile. And then you could see your rank compared to other people on your friends list. Because let's face it, people love bragging rights, and what else do we have to show off about in this game? Because I don't think it's cosmetics. I think people would love to show off about their rank a little bit more. So carrying on with the rewards and achievements train of thought, let's move on to number 4, more rewards and competition at high ranks. Right now we have a bit of an issue for high rank players. Fewer and fewer top players are playing league mode. A lot of them are playing the in-house league, which is understandable, but that makes the situation even worse for league mode. But really, what incentive does a Grand Champion have to keep playing league? Honestly, there isn't really one. So how about if we up the competition for Grand Champions? Let's say we had a top 100 like Overwatch's top 500. It gives the top players more of a reason to keep playing if they want to maintain their spot. You could also have cool rewards like mounts and titles for people who finish the season in the top 100. On top of that, you could have a title that tracks your high rank wins, kind of like stat track weapons in CSGO. You could have a Grand Champion title that tracks how many wins that player has against other Grand Champions. Honestly, I'm kind of riffing here, so if you're a Grand Champion and you're watching this, what would you like to see to keep you playing league mode? Because I know a lot of you either play the in-house league or you want to be a part of it. So what would it take to keep you interested in ladder mode? I don't think the need for an in-house league will ever disappear if you're looking for top quality games. And scrimming will always be a thing, of course, but it's a real shame how absent the top players have been from matchmaking recently. So finally, let's move on to number 5, in-game tournaments. This is actually a confirmed feature. There's no ETA just yet, but we know this is something that is coming. I've spoken about it before, but I think in-game tournaments will be game-changing for Battlerite. The ladder can get a bit stale after a while, and that's pretty much all there is to do right now. I wouldn't say I'm bored of it personally, but I know some people might be. Having in-game tournaments that anyone can enter would really spice up the gameplay for a lot of people. In League, if you lose a game, it doesn't really mean anything. You can win the next one, but in a tournament, the stakes are so much higher. If you get to the knockout phase, losing one game means you're out of the tournament. This game is all about skill and adrenaline, and there's nothing better than a tournament to get the full Battlerite experience. The amount of people who've actually played games competitively is so small. Like, the amount of us who've played in tournaments is such a tiny fraction of the population. So a lot of us don't even know how it feels to compete in a tournament. Like, seriously guys, you don't even know how much of a game changer this will be. I'm not a pro gamer myself, but I did experience the in-game tournaments in Bloodline Champions, and it was absolutely insane. Not only is the adrenaline rush from playing in a tournament incredible, but the spectator experience as well is just so good. In Bloodline Champions, you could watch any of the ongoing matches in a tournament, and the sense of community was second to none. Maybe someone from your friends list made it to the finals, and the feeling of watching them and sharing the experience with everyone else was indescribable. So Stunlock, if you're listening, you seriously can't get this feature out soon enough. If there's one feature that can take this game from where it is now to where I think we all hope it can go, it's the tournament system. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please feel free to subscribe for more Battlerite guides, news, and discussion. And if you have any more ideas of features that this game could do with, please feel free to leave it in the comments. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.